Thanks, friends. Jason here for AxodysFC. It is Wednesday night. Of course, today, lunchtime, my time, Spurs played against Coventry in the start of the Carabao Cup. Is it the third round for us considered? I'm always confused on what the rounds are, especially early on. But anyway, tough kind of opening road match. I was curious to see who Ange would pick for his starting rotation, and he rested a bunch of people. And so let's see. The starting in the forward lineup, Solanke was in the 9. Timo Werner was on the left. Wilson Odobert was on the right, and then in midfield we had Sarr, as well as Berival, which I was excited to see him get a start, and also of course Bentancur in the 6. So a good mix of like starters and experience there. The back line was pretty much a wholesale rotation, except for Destiny Udogie in the left back spot, which ironically I kind of feel like he was the most disappointing out of the back four. We had Dragusin on the right, Ben Davis on the left, and of course at right back we had Archie Gray. And overall, and of course Fraser Forster starting in goal. And right off the bat, we were letting them have better shots than we were ever getting. Essentially, it was a very frustrating match overall. We were pretty flat. Our offense, our execution in the offensive third was not great. And, just overall very frustrating game. And then, so I believe it was still a 0-0 draw at the half. There are moments here and there. Solanke did have one really nice play where he tried to beat two guys kind of off the dribble, kind of got sandwiched and tangled up with a guy and called for a foul actually on him. It seemed kind of debatable, but I liked that ability and aggressiveness that I saw from him. Overall, Timo Werner didn't do much to get basically make a case for himself. It was frustrating to see all the doubters just get additional fuel, essentially. But the one interesting thing I would say about Werner that he would try and do out of the wing spot occasionally was to drive with the ball across the field, essentially in a way we'd kind of like to see Sutton do that from that spot. And so I kind of wonder if that's something they've been working on. We just haven't seen Sonny do it, actually. Because I've seen him do it in 2 straight games, and nothing good has ever actually come of it. But anyway, Werner's shown, that driving into the middle of the pitch, actually, from the left wing with the ball, maybe is something we can look to see from Son as well. I don't know. But, the problem with Werner doing it is inevitably he drove into, it was kind of almost Lucas Moura-esque, where he drove too far and eventually gave it up, and then it's a good counter situation for Coventry in this case. So, very, very frustrating. But anyway, early on, actually, like about within 15 minutes, Wilson Odobert picked up an injury, had to come out. And so Johnson was in. And, over the last few days or after the Arsenal game, he actually had basically shut down his Instagram account, and I don't really blame him with the kind of vitriol that was being directed his way unfairly, in my opinion. Anyway, I feel like and so anyway, not a good looking half for us overall. Johnson was in, not doing much to begin with anyway. We're not doing anything that's really testing or moving the ball in a style that's really troubling Coventry that much. And at the same time, when we would inevitably turn it over, they would get some good transition, and our defenders did a pretty good job of recovering overall, but we dodged some bullets. Definitely, if they had been any more clinical, they could have been a few more goals. But so definitely a pretty discouraging first half. Then at the break, I'm not sure how early it was, but essentially Djed Spence came in for Destiny Udogie, and I think Ange said after the game he only planned for Destiny to play like the first half anyway, which, I mean, understandable. He's still, getting back up to speed coming off the injury that, has kept him out of regular training and international play over the last 4 months or whatever. So understandable, ease him back into regular play, etc. We will need him for Saturday's game, presumably. Fine. And actually Spence ended up being an upgrade, I felt like. So, so anyway, we continued to struggle, and then they got the go-ahead goal. I forget the sequence that led to the turnover and the breakaway. But we didn't deal with it well, and they were able to have a clean look. Forster didn't do anything to react to it very well, and we're down 1-0, and there's about wait, the worst part that immediately happened after we had subbed in Son and Madison, like a minute after bringing them on. Suddenly we just give up this score, breakaway, needless to say, neither of those two guys did much for the remainder of the game. The only reason we ended up winning was because Werner picked up an injury, had to come out. So at that point, basically, Kulusevski finally entered the game after subbing in for Werner. Sonny moved to the 9, I think, initially. But then maybe I'm not sure, because Kulusevski ended up operating in the false 9 a fair amount. So, but anyway, I mean, Kulusevski looked a million times more creative and promising. And anyway, sure enough, he within a few minutes had combined for the equalizer with Djed Spence, who, Spence had started the whole move from the back, passed it off, continued his run, and showed something on offense that we haven't seen close to from Destiny this season, and put it away when Kulu found him with kind of a give and go scenario. And suddenly it's a whole new game. It's just a few minutes left in regulation, and then 4 minutes in extra time, and then with about 2 minutes to go, we get a turnover scenario. Bentancur finds a streaking Johnson, who's running up the pitch perfectly onside. Perfect pass, and he puts it away with a nice chip over the keeper to the far post. Suddenly, we're winning the game miraculously, and very frustrating because I didn't feel like the substitutions worked as expected at all. It was like adding Sonny and Madison didn't help that much and immediately gave up a score. We only brought on Kulu because Werner went out with an injury. And and the fact that Spence is not on Europa League is clearly that much more ridiculous. Very frustrating game. Didn't feel like we were set up in a great way to, immediately take control of the game and close it out, that kind of thing. I have, I don't feel like, I certainly don't feel that great about the win. I'm glad we won, and it would have been terrible if we'd lost. But I do really hope Ange is like learning some things here and realizing who we can go with and who, are not delivering. And I am concerned about Madison and Son. I'm not. Our wing play is not good enough lately, but and that was another thing. Solanke was fine, but he got no service again, and so. Anyway, I just don't see how you can't play Kulu in any important game at this point. He's our only remotely effective and creative player. It's pretty concerning. So anyway, I'm about out of light. The sun has been set for a while, and so on that note, I will call it a wrap. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and come on, you Spurs.